Today I'm going to attempt to scam hundreds of people out of thousands of pounds on Facebook Marketplace. That's a horrible start to a video. You may think that websites like Facebook have some bargain cars for sale, but some of those are scams. In fact, the cars don't even exist. Where did that go?
Unlike the old school light-fingered thieves, the modern day versions sit behind a computer screen and trick you into giving them your hard-earned money.
The scary thing is we are giving these modern day thieves our money without even realising it. And today I'm going to show you how easy it is for the criminals to steal from the everyday people. And hopefully along the process you can learn how to avoid these scams and not get caught out by these silent criminals.
Right, let me show you how easy it is to get scammed online. Let's say, for example, you're scrolling down Facebook Marketplace and this one catches your eye. The Mercedes A-Class, reliable, well-built and by looks of it, a bargain. Only 70,000 miles and a hassle-free 11 months left on the MOT. Seems like a good car, and that's what these hundreds of people also thought who have messaged me wanting to buy my scam car. So far, they have fell for the trap. I simply took someone else's genuine listing off Auto Trader, copy and pasted it onto Facebook, gave it a hefty discount and pressed live. No questions asked. And all of these people didn't suspect a thing. But let's see how many people will actually go as far as trying to send me some actual money.
Right, we have an inquiry on this A45. A guy called Ben, is it still available? So nice and simple to start with.
So how these scammers work is try and get the target invested, sell the dream and convince you this is a real car and that you are buying a bargain. It's listed as a low price, which is bait, and when they answer the questions calmly without throwing up any red flags, and he is hooked.
Cool, can I come and see it tonight? I'm 30 minutes away from Enfield. It's a bit of luck. He's having that bait, isn't he? You know, he wants to come right now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to delay him. Okay, so we're going to sort of like let him wait a little bit of time.
The next tactic is to push him back, delay him seeing the car, making him think he's going to miss out on this bargain motor. This also sounds like the car is more legit, as we're not desperate to try and scam him out of his money at the first opportunity.
Okay, so now he's come back with, I have to be at work for 2. Yes, that can work. Can you send me your address? Now this is where we're going to hit him with, we've had loads and loads of inquiries. The reason we're going to do that is I'm then going to ask him for a small deposit to secure it, because I've got loads of people come in, but if he doesn't send me a deposit, then I'm going to sell it to somebody else. That is where we've seen this scam really works.
I'm sure lots of you are now saying, I wouldn't fall for that, but I did, and I class myself as fairly streetwise and no fool. So without this education right now, so many people are seeing what they want to see and gambling, especially with a small deposit they can afford to lose. Right now, Ben is ignoring all the subtle warning signs.
So this is where we're going to horribly go in for the kill. He's put, if you can take it and mark it as sold straight away, how do I pay?
No.
He's fell for it. And now really all we've got to do now is send him the PayPal link, which won't work. And if he sends us back saying it's not working, he's tried to send the money, we know that that would have been 500 quid in the scammer's bank account. Okay, so it's just said, my sister is just on for it now. So maybe he's not really tech savvy, maybe that's why he's falling for this so easily, but...
And just a couple of minutes later...
Let's try to send us the money. Soz, she has just said the PayPal link doesn't work, and obviously it doesn't work because...
So you had him?
Try to send us 500 quid. Look how easy that is. What's that, just took us 10 minutes?
And if you think this is bad, in this video we reveal how serious and deep this goes. It's ruining people's lives forever. We aren't just talking about a quick 500 quid dip. And Facebook, they seem to be doing nothing, even when the police get involved.
Right, Ben, so if you're watching this, sorry for wasting your time, mate, but we're trying to educate everyone watching this now, and I dread to think how much people are having every day through scams, but that there was simple to take £500 off somebody. Right, that's number 1. Ben, 500 quid would have been in the bank. Let's see how many more people fall for it.
We listed a few cars, and over the next few days, we received a scary number of messages. Thankfully, some of them didn't fall for the scam.
Right, Jason, good work, mate. Okay, so we've gone all the way to the end. I thought he was going to go for it. When I've asked for the 500 quid deposit, he's told me to do one. And he said, we're scamming him.
But unfortunately, too many people fell for it.
Adam tried to send the money, PayPal link won't work. Bad news, so that was it, he was sending 500 quid. Easy as that. Right, not good, we've got another one, another 500 quid. Right, we have another one, not great. So that is another person who was willing to send us the money, which is just horrible.
And that was a very easy £3,000. A scammer can sit at home in the warm with very little risk and earn that in one day. It breaks my heart that people are falling for such a simple scam. Later in this video, we contacted Facebook to see what they were doing about it. There just seems to be no consequences, but more on that later.
Right, so next up, we're going to try and contact one of these scammers and see what the hell they've got to say for themselves.
Oh God, not again.
Jane loves this bit.
Last year, I encountered an online scam. He nearly took hundreds of thousands of pounds from me, but even worse, he threatened my family, which is one of the main reasons we are making this video, so hopefully this never happens to you. Let's get together and try and stop thousands of innocent people being scammed online. Let's see what these scammers have to say.
So there are so many fake adverts on Facebook Marketplace for all sorts of different makes, models and price ranges of cars. So we're going to message a few of them and try and find out exactly who are behind these adverts. Let's try and find the actual scammers.
So a few of the telltale signs: an unbelievable low price, profiles with multiple cars for sale which often have a very similar description, very lazy.
For example, Jodie here. Now, she is a massive seller of campers. All for about 10 grand. Imagine how big her drive is. But one thing which is pretty bad, I'm pretty sure here, look, 2008, so I think she has been scammed and this is no longer her Facebook account because she's been hacked.
Next, we messaged lots of them, pretending we wanted a new car, and we started to get some replies.
So that's 3 different cars and 3 different messages back, and all 3 are the same email. So what they're asking for us to do is come off the Facebook platform and just to start going direct to their email address. So let's send them some emails. And we've got 3 different phones. Thanks to Darb at Renew. We're going to put some emails into them now and see if we can get a phone number. Would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see what they sound like.
Hello, good afternoon. How can I help you today?
Right, here we go.
Confront them.
I can't remember, like, look how small these phones are. Do you reckon if you went into prison? Still big, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't want.
Your mum, on the other hand.
So we sent a message to the email address that was given to us, and not long after, we got a reply.
It's ready to be transported. Oh, here we go. Because it was from an auction, it was cheap. They cannot accommodate any inspections. So we can send them the money and they will deliver our car for us. But they have given us an address and maybe we could go visit their warehouse. Let's check the address in Google. That does not look like a typical car warehouse. So they've obviously used somebody's address. I wonder how many people have knocked on their door to say, where the hell is my car I paid you for?
It's easy to watch this and say that you can see the obvious sides of a fraudulent advert, but mixed with the excitement of a new car and cheaper than the expected price, it's easier than you think to fall for these professional scammers. And later in the video, we speak to people who have unfortunately done exactly that. But before we meet them, we've been sent a phone number to speak to Scott, the scammer. It looks like we can actually speak to them.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
He was on some sort of Skype line, so it can't be traced. Another red flag, as the line quality is horrific. So we called him back.
Hello, good afternoon. How can I help you today?
Ah, I can hear you now. There we go, we're flying.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was trying to find out if I could come and have a look at the car.
It's not possible. I'm going to repeat it for you again. We send auction vehicles. We don't have vehicles in our hands. We reserve for other properties and then ship it to the owner. That's when the payment is done.
Yeah. Just worried because like there's so many scams on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm just worried without seeing
We understand, and that's our job here to protect our customers. We guarantee that you're gonna receive it.
How do you guarantee it?
We guarantee the money back from every problem. Well, if you won't give it, if you won't receive it, you will have the money returned to you straight away.
Scout's honour.
Yes.
Okay.
Scammer Scott is sounding a bit fed up, but we're going to drag this out, waste a bit of his time, and see what other info we can get out of him. We spotted a small crack in his enterprise.
Now, whatever you guys think Scott looks like in your head, when catfishing somebody, try and put a little bit more effort in. So, do you think that looks like Scott from London? Now, I am not a private investigator, but I honestly do not think that that's Scott's real picture.
Whilst we're waiting to hear back from Scammer Scott, who was trying to scam us when buying a car, well, the scammers, they also work the other way round, even when you're trying to sell one. This is 73-year-old Jeff, and he was selling his pride and joy. Jeff's grandson, Ben, tells us the story.
So my granddad was selling his car on Facebook Marketplace. He didn't really have too many people coming to look at it, but he had a couple guys turn up. He was on his own. They basically distracted him twice and pulled him around the front of the car. And then one dude, as you can see in the video, pulled oil out of his pocket and put it in the exhaust. You see him pop the bonnet, and the other dude pulls my granddad round to the back of the car. And then he goes around the front quickly, and it's very blurry, but you can see him open the coolant cap and pour oil in.
So why were they pouring oil in various parts of his car? It was sabotage. When the car goes on a test drive, lots of smoke will come from the exhaust as it burns the oil, which looks like the car is about to have a catastrophic failure. And the oil in the coolant bottle, well, that confirms that the head gasket is shot. Well, that's their cunning plan. But why are they doing this?
So sort of at the end of it, basically he went, look, it looks like there's engine damage. We'll just give you $3,000 and then we'll walk away, and then the problem's off your hands, and it's sort of like that.
And was your granddad wise enough to sort of like...
Yeah, he said, he just said, no, I think I'll keep on to it. I'll have it looked into. He just sort of, I think he was a little bit freaked out, but I don't think he thought that someone would do that to him.
Yes.
Like, he was none the wiser as to what had actually happened. But, yeah, obviously, as soon as he told me, I realised.
Unfortunately, this wasn't a one-off.
So, from what I know, they did it to someone else in the village 2 days later.
Wow. And we also had another subscriber with exactly the same story.
And then, so they started looking around the car. So they asked me to lift the spare wheel out, which I did. I realised, obviously, after this incident, that the two of them were still at the front of the car with the bonnet up.
Again, they did the same process, oil up the exhaust and pouring oil in the water bottle, the telltale sign of a damaged engine.
We went down the road and all of a sudden white smoke comes blaring out the exhaust, and he said, oh mate, your car's gone. He said, it's got a head gasket blown, something's gone. And then they kept on saying, well, we'll give you £500 for it because it's knackered, so we might as well just give you £500 for it, take it off your hands, save you fixing it. And it honestly must have been half hour, 45 minutes of that same conversation of me telling them no and them not taking no for an answer.
We keep hearing the same story. Gangs arriving onto your drive, sometimes 4 people deep, who together with constant repetitive bullying tactics are pressurising you into a low price deal. And I'm sure some of you right now are realising that this has happened to you. You thought it was a coincidence on the day that your car had finally given up. But mixed with mob handing pressure, they scammed you into a lowball price. Scarily, this isn't just cybercrime. This is face-to-face, at your home address, fraud. Later on, we speak to this guy, Jamie, who top trumps any scam consequences I have ever heard. It leaves a horrid outcome which is life-lasting due to yet another Facebook deception. Before that, we have heard back from Scammer Scott, who has sent us some very interesting documents.
Right, so we've had some information back from a man who is selling the A-Class Merc. Check that out. That is a buyback guarantee, which will definitely get your money back and stop you from getting scammed. All you got to do is phone a number. So yeah, some proper red flags in here. Like there's one bit here. This is for up to $100,000. This is a man who lives in London, but yeah, this is just a joke.
Along with this trustworthy money-back guarantee, he has sent us UK bank details to send the money to a real registered UK business. But after a little research, we can see it ceased trading in 2021. But with a location of Glasgow, Scammer Scott is all over the place. Scammer Scott himself in Oxford, and the car is in London. But we have a plan to get one back on Scammer Scott.
I have a plan.
So you photoshopped him pretending that we've sent him money?
That should confuse him.
Yep.
Whilst we wait for an angry call back from Scammer Scott, let me show you how to protect yourself when buying a car.
When buying a car, it may look great on the outside, but underneath, it might have some underlying issues. Just like my BMW M3, it's hiding a dark secret. And that's not the lack of peel, or the flat battery, or the tyres. But first, we have a call back from Scammer Scott. There he goes. Obviously, he's ringing us to tell us the money's come through.
Yes, sir, can you hear me?
I can hear you this time, yeah, brilliant.
Yes, sir, do we have not received the money yet? Can you please check your payment? Because I think it's the best payment that you have to approve it.
What time do you close tonight?
We are open another 4 hours from now.
4 hours? God, you work late. Is it a UK bank account? Just
Yes, it is.
Hello?
Yes, sir, it's a UK bank account.
Okay. Everything all right? You sound bad. Good. You need to get back home to your kids. It's 4:15. You can't be working there for another 4 hours.
Okay, right. I think it's time to confront Scammer Scott. But first, what is the dark secret with my BMW?
When I plug in the OBD11 device, which has dealer-level diagnostics, it threw up just a couple of faults.
49.
And thanks to the level of detail OBD11 gives us, we can see that some of these faults are quite serious.
Even though the car looks great, if I was buying it, because of the OBD11 fault find, I would have kept miles away from it. It could have cost me thousands. And good news, this OBD11 device works for BMW, VAG, Toyota Lexus Group, and that is all models from 2008 onwards.
Back to Scammer Scott, and he revealed to us the scale of the money that this man is fraudulently earning.
Are you sure? Have you got many payments? Is your bank working? Is there many payments coming in?
Yes, we have a lot of transactions.
Do you? A lot.
Not receiving it. We will not show you the next hour. We will call the bank.
But you are getting a lot of payments to your bank?
20, 30 payments daily.
20, 30 payments daily. I suppose from young families.
Yes.
That is a crazy number, and I really hope that this is just another lie. But what I do know is true, though, is all the great features on OBD11.
Now, this isn't just about buying a new car. You can diagnose problems on your current car. You can also use one of these one-click apps to customise your car. For example, you can make it beep when you lock it. Now, if you want to get your hands on one of these OBD11 devices, for the next 24 hours, you can get a whopping 23% off. And after that, 15% using my discount code MARK. Link is in the description, and thank you OBD11 for sponsoring this video.
Now it's time to confront our new mate, Scammer Scott.
Do you believe in karma?
Yeah.
You do? So why are you scamming people out of their money?
What are you talking about?
So you're a liar. Also, the bank details you've given to us are not an auction site. You're scamming people. Now you've got to remember that some of those people might not have the money. Now you're defrauding people out of the money, and karma will come and get you.
These scammers are nothing but cowards, but the big problem is they are taking over the internet. Facebook are as good as letting these scams carry on. Despite constant reports, the adverts just stop live. So we sat down with the UK's cybercrime police to see what they are doing to stop this online epidemic.
Morning.
Morning, Mark.
Right. Obviously we've seen some horrendous situations on Facebook Marketplace. People getting into some right mess. Like, what are the police actually doing about this?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and I'm sure it's a question that a lot of people are thinking about. In terms of those scams that we see, it's one of our highest volume crime types. It's the way that crime's going now, and Facebook Marketplace, unfortunately, is just riddled with those scams. From an investigatory side, it's really, really difficult for us to investigate. A lot of the time, the suspects are coming back to the other side of the world. We know people are doing it inside of the UK, but a lot of the time, the suspects are purporting to be from other countries. So our powers as UK law enforcement are really struggling to deal with this threat.
So because some of these scammers are operating from a different country, it's difficult for the police to get to the source of the scammer hub, which is a terrifying thought.
Obviously, we've seen a lot of money has been taken by these fraudsters. What can we do?
It's really difficult, is the reality of this. We've seen just within Warwickshire sort of tens of millions every year go straight to the scammers, straight to the fraudsters, and that's based on about 5% of the true picture that gets reported to us. So in reality, it's in the hundreds of millions.
Police are getting to some of these cyber gangs, but they need you guys to help by reporting what scammers you find.
If you're coming into contact with things like fake emails and fake links as well, you can now directly report them through to us. So you just have to forward an email to report@phishing.gov.uk, and if it's a text message, you can just send it direct to us by sending it to 7726. We now take down, as a result of that, over the last 2 years, we've taken down over 150,000 fake websites through people reporting them through to us. So that goes to us in policing and then the National Cybersecurity Centre.
But the unfortunate reality is these convictions is a drop in the ocean to the massive wide-scale problem we are all facing.
Facebook Marketplace, car sales, car scams. It's like when you look on there seems to be so many, can they do anything? Can they do something about their platform?
Yeah, we wish that was the case. In terms of, from our perspective, we really see Meta and Facebook as just enabling these fraudsters. The fact that the vast majority of listings for vehicles or anything of high value in marketplace, the vast majority of them are scams. So they're enabling these fraudsters to be able to take people's money, and it doesn't appear that they're necessarily doing enough. I know that it's very simple, very easy and very quick to be able to just list anything on Facebook, and those checks aren't being done to check for the authenticity. So they essentially are enabling this to happen.
You may think being scammed on Facebook is just losing a deposit, but we're about to hear it can be a whole lot worse.
So in this example, it started with Marketplace, Facebook account hacked, password reused on the emails, got into the email account. After they got into the email account, they went into their sent items. That person was buying a house, so they'd sent a copy of utility bill, driver's license and passport.
So they've now got every bit of their identity.
Off the back of that, they then went and applied for a loan and credit in that person's name for £35,000.
35 grand.
Exactly that. Damage to their life as a result of this, or from what was a car that was less than £1,000, has been monumental for them.
Okay, so if in reality, if we're talking frank, you're struggling, it's hard, so we need to look after ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best advice we can give people, is that the onus on stopping this from happening, for us really, prevention is better than a cure.
Yes.
We've talked about how difficult it is to investigate when you're dealing with criminals the other side of the world, but the things that you can be doing in terms of that end user to protect yourself, in the same way that you'd put good locks on your front door or putting a crook lock on your car, those steps that you can take to make it more difficult for the criminals, the better. And we've got some great advice to help people secure their accounts and stop this.
So when our subscribers see that car advert, what can they look for?
Again, it's difficult and getting really, really hard to spot now. The criminals are going and hacking accounts that have been on Facebook for years and years, sort of 10 years plus now.
Right, so they got that security because they see Margaret has been doing this since 2007. She's a real person.
And when Margaret's got 60 camper vans or 60 high-end motor vehicles on there, it should be quite a good indication that something's up, but you need to do that due diligence check to check the person's profile. In terms of looking after your online profiles and making sure that they're secure, two things really from us. The separate password for your email account, so that password that you don't use anywhere else, just for your emails. Is
Right,
the first one.
so we've got the password which probably most of us got, which is the same on everything. And if you can only do one, it's that email address.
Exactly that is the gateway to all the other accounts that you own. So looking after that email account is your top priority.
It's very sad to hear that innocent people are losing money, but the system that protects us just can't keep up. To see exactly how many scammers there are, we wanted to bait and see how long it would take before someone tried to scam us. So we listed Reese's MX-5, and of course, it didn't take long at all.
1 hour later.
Okay, so it took an hour and a half, in fact, which is a little bit longer than we thought, but this is where we're at right now. So this guy is basically started out, where are you located, what conditions the car, like all the right questions. But then this is what we found and been reported by a lot of people. All of a sudden, he wants vehicle history. So we've said, don't worry mate, we've got a full report from Car Vertical which shows you everything. No, this is what my mechanic has told me.
So there are a lot of vehicle background checks which are scams. They take your money and don't even do that check. But even worse, they then have your credit card details. I would advise not to use any of these checkers people are asking you to do. Keep to the companies you know, and if they insist, let that sale go. It's more than likely a scam.
Now obviously we set off with the purpose to get something like this because we were looking for it, but if you were desperate to sell your car and it had been 2 weeks and nobody had had it, and you're thinking, all I got to do here is spend £25, get this report, and then the car's sold, because this guy's offering us full money. So you're thinking, just 25 quid and my car's sold. But then you've handed over your credit card details and he's probably going to get you for £5,000.
Madness that even trying to sell a car that there are people trying to scam you. Within an hour, the first person who messaged us was a scammer. It seems like this platform is just rife. We were contacted by Jamie, a subscriber who got a life-changing scenario through no fault of his own, and Facebook, well, they did nothing to stop this.
So you've had an absolute nightmare by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's been horrendous. Right, so basically I started a car parts company. I did quite a good amount of profit for the first time off my own back. I was really proud, so I thought, I'll treat myself to a part for my Mini. So I'll go on Facebook Marketplace to see an LED steering wheel. So I messaged the guy and I'm going through the process, speaking to him. He said he's going to send it out, he's going to post it. Can you just send payment to here? But yeah, that's not worries at all. Didn't think anything of it. And then blocked straight away. All communication gone. I was like, I've been done over. Take him on the chin, is what it is. It's my own fault for sending money. And then maybe 2 weeks go by and someone messages me saying, are you breaking this car? ? They sent me a screenshot of a profile saying breaking all these car parts, exactly the same way I got scammed.
Your photo on it,
My photo is a picture of me holding my son, who's 1 year old at the time. I was in shock, like immediate shock. Someone had posted up saying scammer be aware, and it'd be my picture. And then people commenting saying, yeah, he looks like scum, he looks like he'd scam, but his son's going to grow up to scam like him and stuff like that. It's just horrible comments. And I'm having to go in there and explain it's not me and stuff like that. And then you see comments slowly one by one removing. But it just started flooding in, like tens of people messaging me over and over, and they're telling me how much they've spent, and it's within like 2 days it was like £3,000 or £4,000 people being scammed.
So he could be robbing £1 million out of people.
Oh, easily.
Just like when we tried this process, the identity fraudster was successfully taking big amounts of money from the innocent public, but the fraudster then took it a step further.
And then 2 weeks go by and I get sent screenshots of him using my company's house details for my business. So he's gone on company's house, typed in like my company's name, and it comes up with all your documentation. Like, it's all public information, anyone can download it. And he's sending them saying, this is proof this is my business. You can send money directly to my account though, because I'm not using the business at the moment.
So using Jamie's name, his profile picture, the scammer can back up his fake story by showing a registered working company on the government website. But new problem, the scammer is now directing people to Jamie's home address.
At this point, he's sending people to my house to collect car parts, and obviously they're not there, I don't have them. These people are getting upset saying, you've scammed me. All my pictures, so they're seeing my face.
Yeah, when they're knocking on that door asking you for where your parts, it's you.
So yeah, there was hundreds of cases of this, and it got so bad. We moved house.
You had to move house?
It was just too much. I had to shut down the business because it was just crashing. It was costing too much. The money I was making just all went on helping people. One girl got scammed, she was 17, and she got scammed first time ever buying car parts to modify her first car. But I sent out a bunch of mini car parts that I had in stock to modify her first car, just to say, like, don't lose faith in the car community, this is what it's about. You've met a bad person, basically.
And what has Facebook done anything about this?
Nothing. There's thousands of accounts like this and loads of stories from people I've spoken to. Nothing you can do. Everyone's reporting it through Facebook saying fake profile, but Facebook immediately respond with a "we detected and there's nothing wrong with this profile," like within the same second of you reporting it. So it's just auto responding that it's a perfect profile.
So how does this keep happening? Surely this can't continue. So we reached out to Facebook themselves to see what can be done.
Right, so we reached out to Facebook to tell them all about what we were doing, making a video on investigating all these Facebook marketplace scams. Now, we did hear back from them and they wanted to know exactly what we were looking into. So quite simply, we sent them some examples of actual ads which are live right now, which are fraudulent. So we heard back with a very generic email saying they take down fraudulent activity. So I reached out again and said, let's meet up, let's do a video call face to face and let's go through everything which is happening. We heard nothing back whatsoever, which is a real shame because they seem to be ignoring all the issues which are affecting so many people.
And then we realised how badly this had affected Jamie.
All the stress got so much I started having seizures due to stress. Lost my job. I've had to close down the business and the other business because I can't work due to stress and seizures. I was having seizures every single day.
And you weren't having before?
No, it all kicked off. It's a neurological condition. Basically, your nervous system gets too much to protect itself, and my brain sort of just shut down. And I have a seizure when I get too stressed.
So basically, this one little ad on Facebook has just ruined your life.
Oh, massively, yeah. Like with the seizures, especially, I can't for a long time I couldn't bath my son on my own. So he's 1 year old. I want to bath him. I can't because if I have a seizure whilst we're in there, I can't bath him. Cooking, I can't drive. I got my license taken off me. There's just all sorts that comes in from it, and it all stems from that happening.
Consequential damage. Oh man, that's horrendous.
The sad part is this can happen to any of us. I wish I knew the answers, I really do. Let's start by protecting ourselves and sharing this with your friends and your family so everyone is aware.
You've got to think that Jamie said that straight away he reported it to Facebook, straight away, and they did nothing about this. So the consequential damages and all the things which have gone through his life could have been avoided by them listening to when he actually said, this isn't me, this is a fraudster, take this account down, and they didn't. That's bad.